Hey, how you doing? This is Biscuit with Vision Quest Tattoo, and we're going to do a tutorial on realism and texture and contrast today. Hope you're in for a good day and you got time to sit here and listen a bit. Right now I'm using the Numa 4 tattoo machine. For those of you who've never heard of it, you can go to Numa 4 or numattattoomachines.com and check out the machine. Carson Hill's the inventor and maker of the machine. It has a amazing wavelength. The way he designed the cam, it's linear and not like, let's say, working on a wheel or a rim of a car. You know, it's hooked attached to one side and goes around. And so like 45 to 50% of the stroke, the needle dwells inside the skin with a typical rotary. And he's got it turned, and it mimics the wavelength of the dwell time of a coil machine, which is pretty amazing. So he's done extensive research on it. They've got, 20% cam, 3.6 stroke. They've got a 33% cam, which is 33% of the needle in the skin dwell time is 33% of the full cycle. And they got 28% and 45% or 40%, I believe it is. But anyway, you can go to his page and check it out. I can't say TikTok and Instagram, but a lot of cartridges out there, even some of the big name cartridges, I won't even mention any names, but the flow on the liners is horrible, and it's like you can't get any ink to come out and whatnot. But with these needle jig cartridges, they run great. That was one thing I was really hoping for, and I tried these cartridges from the other brand I won't mention that I was using, and really amazing. So give them a follow, give them a try, and you won't be disappointed. So as we're watching the video here, I'm going through and putting in some edging with my black work and getting in there. Make sure you get a good stretch. We're on the underneath side of the inner bicep. We're in that area of the arm, which is kind of a pain in the ass to tattoo. And it's just getting a good stretch and working. Let your machine do the work. So if you have to turn the voltage up on your machine a little bit to match your hand speed, whatnot, instead of tearing the skin up, a lot of guys I see try and run the needle a little too shallow and move their hand too fast, and wow, that didn't go in, and the way I say it is slow your hand down, let the machine do the work, let it pack it, and loosen up when you're wanting to blend your color out. Kind of like if you're cutting grass and you're running your lawn tractor on 5th gear and you're doing 30 mile an hour through your yard, you're only going to cut 3 or 4 blades of grass every so far, and then you put it in 1st gear and you go really slow, you're going to trim that yard up really good. So it's just kind of a similar thing for those who are newer to tattooing. It's just a way I teach any of my apprentices. It's a good analogy to understand what's going on with the machine and your hand speed. Pretty important, and that way you're not overworking the skin. Make sure you get a good stretch. As you can see on the table there, I got those 3-inch round organic cotton rounds. I use Bounty paper towels to wipe up the main bulk of the ink afterwards, but these 3-inch round organic cotton rounds are super soft on the skin, and it really helps the client, I found, not complain so much during the tattoo. During the wiping, everyone complains. So you can rinse these things out too, which is really amazing. You can rinse them out and wring them out and rinse it and wring it, and in a wash cup, and then they're like brand new again until that degrades enough to where you can't use it anymore, and then throw it out. But really lasts a long time. I think on a big tattoo I only go through like 10 of the organic cotton rounds, so it's definitely worth the effort and the amount the client can take in a chair. I'm using Industry Inks for those who are wondering. Amazing quality ink company. I've used pretty much all the big brands over the years. I've been tattooing 35 years, like I said, so you make sure you check those guys out too. They really got a good quality color. I take a little bit of distilled water and witch hazel mix It's like 75% distilled water, 25% witch hazel, and shake it up in a bottle. And every time I set up, I put like 4 or 5 drops on top of each cap, and then I'll mix it around, and it keeps the ink loose. And also have an extra cap sitting there on the right hand side of my palette that I can dab in, fill the tube up with ink, and then the little touch of the distilled water witch hazel mix keeps it loose, and it goes in the skin really nice. We're doing a whole half sleeve of How to Train Your Dragon, and we're getting it on, and he's sitting pretty good. And especially for that area, it's never comfortable for the artist or the client, really. And I'm bouncing back and forth between colors. A lot of newbies don't know, you can, never use a color straight out of the bottle. I mean, you can, but there's a myriad of colors you can come up with inside the tip of your tube as you're bouncing between colors. And you can create your own palette inside your palette that you're working with. I mean, you can come up with hundreds of colors inside the little bit that you have out. It's all creativity, As Bob Ross said, there's no mistakes, just happy little trees or happy little clouds or happy little mountains, whatever. Same thing in tattooing. Just have fun. As you can see, I'm bouncing between a couple different colors there and working on the nose, working in layers. I usually like to work from a medium tone and then blend up into a darker and then to my darkest contrast. After that, then I'll go through with my white highlights or lighter highlight tones and texture. And that way you got your, I guess as a painter would say, you got your underpainting first, then you build your contrast, and then you can go through and add a little bit of texture. Here in a little bit, I'm going to use 7-liner bug pen from Needle Jig, and I'm going to do some with that and a 3-liner liner, and it's a bug pen as well. I'm going to go through and do some stippling into the dragon's face and nose area to give it a textured look, but not like your typical stippling you've seen everybody do on their rake. And it's not rake shading, it's literally going at different depths and different pressures to create a stippling texture that's not consistent everywhere, so it doesn't look fake or made up, or it's really random. So you got, let the needle sit in a little longer in the skin, and then harder, and then a little lighter, and it's just you're raising your hand up and down in different pressures and stuff, and you play with it a little bit, you can come up with really beautiful textures that way. Later on in the video you'll see me doing that towards the end, and it's pretty cool. A neat way of going about it. Another way you can do texture too is, I call it the bowl of spaghetti. Similar thing, different hand pressures as you're working, and just doing random spaghetti style movements, and you can come up with some really cool texture that way as well. The key to it is random pressure, so you're not contacting the skin in the same depth or level of the skin the whole time, and you create a odd random patterns like squiggly motions everywhere, real tight. Same thing the dot texture does, but it looks a little different. You just have to experiment with it. As you can see right there, I use an ultrasonic and a foot pedal to run the ultrasonic to clean my cartridges out. Just a trick I've used for probably 25 years. And I got that top, as a matter of fact, it's so old. I got that top from, I believe, Spalding and Rogers Tattoo Supply or Dermographics Tattoo Supply way back. And it's always went with me, and I think I've been through 2 ultrasonic since then, but it sits on top. It's a chrome stainless steel or polished stainless steel. The saran wrap I cover it with sticks to it really well, and I'm able to put the cups in there, and just distilled water in the washout cups. The cup on the left, I put a little of that Sanoderm blue-green foam soap in it, and that way it helps clean the ink out of the cartridge. And then I go into the right side cup, and it's just pure distilled water, and it rinses that out and keeps the cartridge clean, so you're not cross-contaminating any of your lighter colors as you're working, I guess you would say. You know, you're not staining it. I guess the best thing I can say right here, I'm working along the teeth and the edges. You know, make sure you take your time. There's no rushes. I've got this video. At first I started off at real time, and now I believe I'm at 300% on the speed, or 3 times the speed, so you can speed along with me on this video and watch what's going on. Just sped up. Don't want to bore you with all the bull and all the details of everything. You know, you can kind of see it happening faster. If you like this video and you find it helpful, please give me a follow or subscribe to my Instagram, Biscuit, BISQUETTE, Vision, and the number 3. Also on my TikTok, it's Biscuit Bewley, BISQUETTE BEWLEY. And give me a subscribe and a follow, and hit the bell notification on YouTube here. I'd appreciate that. Any help I can get. Share the video if it helped you. Leave a comment. Right now I'm layering in the blues for the chin there, or the bottom lip. It's a pretty cool color. But like I said, it's going to be the like the underpainting to it. You'll see later. We're back to normal hand speed right here. Real time, as they would say. And in here in a little bit, it'll speed up again. Just take your time, pack it in there. Try and keep areas clean as you can while you're working, so you can see what you're doing. I've worked with some other artists over the years, and hardly can see what the hell's going on. They got ink all over the damn skin, and everything's smeary, and you can't really see. And I like to keep as clean as possible. I mean, it's hard to keep it super clean all the time, but the better you can keep it clean, the better you're going to be able to see what's going on, what's happening with the skin, and the different tonal values you're coming up with. You can see right there, I'm really taking my time, letting the machine do the work, packing it in there. That way you have a nice one pass color. Anybody that's been tattooing a while knows that that freaking inner bicep is no fun. Sometimes it's the client's not so comfortable and they cry and whine a bit, but you know, you just got to get it in there. I also, as I'm working every once in a while, I've got this just like a numbing spray / antimicrobial It's like a Bactine, but way better. It's called Holy Water, and a buddy of mine makes it, St. Mark. I don't know if you've heard of him or not, but that's a product he makes, and every once in a while I spray it. It's got 4% lidocaine in it, and some emu oil and benzalkonium, stuff like that. So keeps tattoo clean and kind of desensitizes the area for the client. It makes it really nice. If they start hurting quite a bit, then you can spray them down with that holy water and lay some saran wrap over it, wrap it up, and let it sit 10 minutes and come back while you're taking a break or something. When you come back, it'll be pretty numb in the areas that you've broken the skin already, and it does pretty well, actually. It's got me through some longer sessions with some people that were having a hard time. You might check them out. Check out Holy Water. Tell them Biscuit sent you. Leave a message when you're buying it. Took a little bit of that blue and a little bit of white and a little bit of gray and bounced back and forth in between, and come up with a muted tone of blue, so it looks a little more realistic in your shading and stuff like that. You don't want to have everything such brightly saturated colors. You want to mute them out a little bit to come up with your shadows and depth. Little trick there. We're back to 300%, 3 times the speed, so we're moving out here so you can get an idea of what's going on. You see I'm working on the corner of my mag. It's a 27 mag I'm using. It's a 27 curve mag bug pen from Needle Jig. Once again, like I was saying, they're Dynasty Series cartridges. Little slate blue, they call that color. You got a little slate blue, a little steel, a little bit of 50% opaque gray in there. I mix back and forth between. All right, here we go, starting that texture I was telling you about, the stippling style. And it looks like I'm just dotting, but it's different pressure I'm putting on my hand with the machine. So it's some are deeper, some are shallower, and you come up with a real random texture. It really adds a layer of depth to your tattoo. At the end, you're going to see some finished pictures of the session. You'll be able to see it really well. And then now I'm moving my hand fast, and the machine's running a little slow, and getting that, I guess you'd call that rake shading or stipple shading that you see everybody do. You know, it's the way we learned to tattoo way back in the day, 35 years ago. It's all we had. Single needle and 3-liners and 5-liners. It's all we had way back when. And man, the old pencil grip and the Spalding Rogers Supreme Deluxe tattoo machine. That's what I started off with 35 years ago. It's really nice to see how the industry's evolved and the equipment's evolved over the years. Really makes it wonderful. Made our job a lot easier. And these machines, the Numa 4, I can't stress enough how it mimics the wavelength of a coil machine. And this 33% cam, in other words, the needle's going in the skin slower, and then it retracts fast. So the way that wave profile is set up, at 33%, it's going in, and then boop, pops right back out really fast on the end of the cycle. So you can do multi-pass color blending without tearing the skin up. It's a really cool cartridge cam for the Numa 4. The machine, the motor just unscrews out the back of the tube, and you can drop out the 20% cam and grab the 33% and pop it in if you like. I mean, it's super fast to change cams, no tools needed. I got the critical battery pack. I thought that was the best thing since sliced bread, man. Being stuck to a 6-foot cord over all those years, man, and you know, the cord laying across your arm and pulling on the machine. You're trying to run this perfect line, you get a little in it. Used to always piss me off. And now, you know, that battery, you can be comfortable. You can stand up and tattoo. You can move around. You don't feel so confined. It loosens you up a bit. That combined with the Numa 4, man, it's just amazing. You can see I'm doing that stipple technique with some color as well. So it really is not just black. You know, you do it with all your different colors and you're good to go. You get the really nice texture. Using a 7 liner right there, or a 7 round shader. I believe that's actually the 7 liner bug pin, now that I'm looking at it. If you're ever in Florida, I'm on the southwest side of Florida in Inglewood, just about 45 minutes south of Sarasota, and I'm 45 minutes north of Fort Myers. So if you've ever been to Florida and you've heard of those two places, then that's where Inglewood's at, over by Boca Grande, all that area right there. If you're ever in, come to Vision Quest Tattoo, say hi, say you saw this video or something, come visit us, check out the studio. We're going to get the dragon done today, and then next session I'm going to do the lady in there holding the dragon's face. It's Toothless I'm working on right now, I believe. I don't know the actual name of the dragon. I know I should, but it's a really cool movie. I haven't got a chance to watch it in a long while, and he's really big into it, and we found some cool reference pictures and figured we'd make it work. I think Toothless is the blue one up at the top, I believe. And we did the female underneath him, and then now on the inside we're doing this dragon here and the lady. It's going to be pretty neat. I don't mean to sound uneducated on the How to Train Your Dragon movie. I just thought it was some really cool images, and if my client's interested in it, then I'm interested in it as well. I remember watching the movie, but it was a long damn time ago. See, we're working at real-time speed here. I'm using for a glide is a product from S8. It's a medical grade silicone that they use when they do cosmetic surgeries and stuff like that. It's a really amazing product as well. You'd have to check it out, read up on it. They're the makers of that red stencil paper and that stuff. I use their, as you can see down there, that bottle with the pump on it is S8 stencil transfer gel. It works amazing. It really holds a stencil well, and I use their product of the medical grade silicone, the S8 tattoo glide, or tattoo gel they call it, and it works really good. they sell it in individual bags of like 50, I believe, and 50 or 100, and you can get those. And I usually use 2 packs and cut it open and squirt it out on the aluminum foil on there, and that's usually what I go through on my full session tattoos every day. You know, for a medium-sized tattoo or a half-a-day tattoo, you only need 1 pack. It goes a long way. I always try and vary the grip size as well. So like right there, I'm using a True Grip 5. It's a pretty big grip for a 33 millimeter tube, and it's a memory foam, and they're disposable, and they're really nice, and it absorbs any vibration of the machine. I use True Grips for that, and I get some from Dark Labs as well. So it's a little smaller in size. True Grips makes like 3 different sizes or 4 different sizes, I believe. I've gotten them all. I use them all. I use all the True Grips, and then I noticed a sale on Dark Labs one day, and I decided to try them out. So I'm burning through those and the True Grips at the same time, just trying to keep my hand not becoming too used to, or your body used to, one size. If you've been tattooing a long time, you know about numbness in the thumb and wrist, stuff like that. And if you change your grip sizes, it kind of helps with wrist pain and carpal tunnel system. You know, keeps you from getting that. Carpal tunnel is like a repetitive motion syndrome type deal. So we used to struggle with that over the years, and it's gotten better since I started switching grip sizes off and on. You know, 1 week use this size, or 3 days in a week use this size, and then the rest of the week use the smaller size, and go back and forth. Kind of trick the body. I'm going to try and put out a video once every week or once every 2 weeks amongst tattooing, and trying to film it myself and edit it and go on my program here and link up all my videos, and then sit here and do a voiceover for the video and all that. It takes time, and I work a lot of hours in the studio as well. So I'm going to do like a tattoo education or tattoo techniques page a little bit, to help artists who've been tattooing for a while or a long while, and we can all learn tricks from each other. You know, everyone does something just a little bit different, and no one's really wrong. It's just different techniques and different ways of going about things. So maybe we can all help each other with different techniques and knowledge, and pass it on to the future for these younger tattooists or tattoo artists coming up in the industry. You know, we might as well help people out. I always used to say, you know, when I die, will I have left my mark? You know, I've left my mark on people's skin plenty, but how were you as a person? Did you help people? Did you inspire them? So, you know, I know 35 years ago it was pretty faux pas to do something like this. You know, everybody be pissed off that you're showing people techniques or whatnot, you know. And I'm like, why not help the future generation coming up into being better tattoo artists now, instead of making them go through all the stuff we had to, and trial and error and whatnot. You know, your client pays for that, you know, so why not help people get better all over the world? And then there's less cover-ups that we got to do as well. Another way of looking at it, right? You know. Going through and crisping up the edges, got the machine running medium speed, not super fast, not super slow, crisping up the edges. And it's that 33% cam, like I was saying, is for multiple passes and stuff like that, so you don't tear the skin up. And I like to work in an area and then let it settle for a good half hour and then go back and check it out and look at it. You ever been putting in lighter tones of ink, like greens and yellows and even oranges sometimes, powder blues? It always looks like you never got it in the first pass, and you're like, the blood comes up and it just doesn't look like it's there. But you know how when you do white or any other color and you come back and you look at it a half hour later and it's all settled down and you see the true color. It's good to work over an area and then let it sit a half hour and work somewhere else while you're working, and then check it out a little later and go back into it. And that way you can see your saturation levels, what's going on, how the skin's reacting. A lot of times when you put that light green in there or yellow or powder blue and you don't think it went in, guess what? It did. It's just skin's irritated and blood and all that good stuff. It's not showing up right away. So once the skin settles, just like when you put white ink in, it'll pop out. And it also lets the skin kind of bond at the top, so when you go back over it again, it's not tearing the skin up. So just neat little tricks I've learned. Yeah, he's grimacing right there. Yeah. Inner arm's no fun at all, buddy. Yeah, he's doing really well. Good friend of mine. He's like a brother now. You end up tattooing people for so many hours in the chair, and you get to talk about their life's ambitions and struggles and all that good thing, and you end up being family. So it's always good to have good client relations. Be there for people when they need to. That's another good part of this industry, making relations with people, helping people out, getting to lend a hand, and also they lend a hand, Such light pressure I'm using right there. Looks like I'm doing a lot, but I'm barely touching the skin. I'm getting these different color tones and shades and adding that nice texture. If you ever seen this movie, you know how textury this dragon's face is. So it's really cool. Just going in and out really fast. Lighter pressure, deeper pressure. The best way I can say it is on and off with your hand. Light, hard, back and forth. And then you get different depths and different tonal values, and it comes up with a really neat tone. I really wish I could remember this dragon's name, but we all know, we've seen the movie and all that, and I can't remember right now. I feel so bad. There's part of reference of the lady that's going to be on there. Been a really good time tattooing, and some of my work area, and a cool amethyst, looks like Batman wings, and citrine, and my studio's all Florida fishing theme, a bunch of police patches and coins of thin blue line I support. They're like family. Here's some pictures of that. You see the texture in it. and the different tonal values, right? As you can see right there. And that's that stippling technique I was showing you. Really works, really comes out nice. Skin's nice and smooth, not destroyed. And I hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification.